Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the video. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rough Builds. Today I finished up the fuel system, so I'm just gonna kind of go through everything step by step and what I did, and I'll get underneath the car and show you guys everything, how the lines are ran, and kind of where I put my pumps and or my filters and everything, and how I ran my return and everything like that. So I'm not gonna actually be installing anything today. It's already finished, and I'm just gonna kind of walk you through how I did my setup. This is a fuel system that's rated to like 1800 horsepower on E85 with boost. I think it's like that's what the paper says, but I'm guessing it's good for probably like 1500, somewhere around there. But yeah, so it's an Aeromotive fuel system. I haven't seen it on the website. I kind of looked not too long ago to see. It's a Motion Raceworks set. It's the whole fuel system, so it came with a Aeromotive 5-gallon brushless pump. Came with all the Aeromotive filters that it needs, the pre and post filter. It came with this boost reference Aeromotive regulator, and then it also came with, we had dash 12 line and all the fittings, dash 10 and dash 8. So I have, excuse the mess, but I didn't really use, and actually I didn't use any dash 12 line. I almost did, but I changed the way that I mounted my fuel system or my fuel pump. So, but this is the amount of dash 10 I have from running it to the front of the car, and the return, this is all the dash 8 I have left over, which is quite a lot. And then I have a good amount of fittings here. These are all my dash 8 fittings. I have a bunch of 90s in there. And then these are all dash 12s, another dash 12 there. I did order some separate stuff. These are all from the Faster guy on eBay. That's his logo right there. I got his fuel rails. And I ordered some. These are like, I think these are 60s. No, these are 60s. It's a 45. I used 190 from the kit. There's like an extension. It's a union, just so I could get the regulator to extend it out a little bit. And then it goes back out that way. I'll start from the back and kind of work my way up here. All right, so I have a 12-gallon fuel cell here. And what I did was I kind of made a bootleg floor just to go over the spare tire well, cut it out for the feed there. I'm gonna like bolt it down for now until we cut the entire thing out, and then either put a nice floor in the whole thing for my chassis guy, and we might do a bunch of bars and shit back here instead and just lower this down. And I have enough. There's a little bit under there, I'll show you in a minute, that we can kind of move things around without having to redo the entire fuel system, so it's nice. But anyway, so this is it. It's pretty tight up there. What I went with was, those are just like air conditioning mounts off of Amazon. They're 3 inches tall, and I just mounted them to that floor. Those sit up nice. Everything's pretty. This is flown back, so it's not. And then this is also level. But there's the pre-filter. This is also off the Faster guy. Just a 90, straight 90 that goes straight into the pre-filter, right into the Aeromotive pump. I was gonna mount the fuel pump underneath the car. I just didn't really like any of the mounting points that I could have mounted this pump. It's really heavy, and I just didn't really like the idea of it hanging from anything. Like, I built a plate and I mounted it to the actual frame, and it had enough to where the mount would have kind of mounted sideways on from the piece, like a piece of aluminum, and it just didn't sit right with me. I was gonna go right under the bumper, but then I was like, oh, you never know, I might do a wheel stand, and that's an expensive ass pump. Wasn't trying to do that, so that's kind of why I put it in the trunk. I also had like mixed feelings about that, but in the end, I've seen a bunch of people do it. It's not against NHRA as long as you have the firewall. Everything's good. So, I mean, that's kind of where I just went with that. Later on, once we cut all that, the trunk floor and everything out and redo it, probably put some more bars back there, we'll redo everything and kind of mount it a different way. But for now, I'm happy with that, and that's how it is. So it comes down straight from here. I'm gonna put rubber there as well. I'll show you how I did it on the return. I just thought of it today, so I'll cut another piece and do that there as well. The Aeromotive kit also comes with like 40 of those, I think, or 20. I think 20. But yep, so I ran it along there. I'll kind of go to the front there. So then, get under here. So if you can see back there, it drops down, runs along there. Get it up there, and that is the post filter. That is a Evil Energy. It's off Amazon. I had to stretch it out just a little bit to fit that filter because these filters are huge. They're 12 in, I believe. So you have to have a -10 or not ORB, but -10 to -12 fitting that goes into it, and then -12 to -10 that goes back into that. So this runs up and over there. So it's right there. Then I'll come to the front. It comes right into this Y block that I have there. That's also Fragola. Everything from that, our Fragola from Motion is Fragola fittings and Fragola line. So it is nice stuff, I'm not gonna lie, but for the extra stuff, these were like 15, maybe 10 bucks a piece versus like 25 to 30 for each. And I've heard really good things about his stuff too, so I'm not worried about it. Anyway, the first one comes up and goes into that rail. The other one goes over, kind of a loops for the transmission to fit in there, right into that rail. They both have a crossover, or this one crosses over right under there into the regulator. That one feeds straight into the regulator. And then it goes down here. And this is kind of just mock-up until I get everything perfectly good. I have this is not what I'm running. I'm running a electric water pump, either a Davies Craig or a Azir pump. One of the two, I haven't decided yet. But then I'm also running the Motion alternator that goes right here. So kind of have this as far away from my header as possible. So I think it's pretty good where it is. I probably will just keep these zip tied, but it is zip tied also to the K member there. I'm not getting in any way of any like pinch points or anything like that. Goes there. Then if you go under the car, it just does the exact same thing as the feed. And as you can see, it goes there, just along that. Along that, and it goes up, right up there. I'll show you from right here. So it comes up. So I kind of just cut out a square and cut a hole in it, because under here I did cut a little bit of square, but it was rubbing against it. So that keeps it in the center, so it's not touching that at all. And then it just goes up into a 90, and it doesn't touch anything up here. Right into there, and then that's the return. And that's it from the back. Got to fix that little gap there, bolt it all down. Battery box. So what I do is I wrap it pretty good. I don't know if you can see, but it's a pretty thick layer of electrical tape where I want to do it, and I cut it right in the middle. I use just this guy here with a cutting wheel. And then, yeah, I just cut it, and then you undo it, and it won't be too frayed. And then you could just get the fitting right over it, and I'll kind of show you how I do that too. All right, so I took the tape off, and then this is the piece from the regulator. So I go ahead and just slip it right over there, kind of press it down a little bit, and then you just I push and twist at the same time. And then I'll look in here and make sure, I don't know if you're not gonna be really able to see this without me blocking it, but you can see the edge there, and I just worked that all the way out to the edge so it's flush all the way around. And then we'll go ahead and put this guy, I don't know why I'm holding the light over that. There's a giant light right there. Over that, we'll put some WD-40 on there and then push it in. And then I have these guys, which go on here to hold it so you don't scratch anything. This was all included in the Motion Raceworks little kit there, all the hose and everything needed. So it is nice. Those are awesome. So I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so now you can see that hose is flush up to the fitting there. Also, make sure you like stick your finger in there or blow it through or something, because when you cut them like that, you get a lot of debris in there. You can see all that rubber. All right, so I just squirted some WD-40 on here and just put it in there. And you could literally see it slide in. Take it out. It slides right in. And kind of with some force, you push and twist. Yeah, threads weren't lined up. So now you push and twist, and it's threading very beautifully. I usually do this by hand, and it'll get tough. What I also do is I have a piece like this white tape here or something. I will put around, make it flush with that, and kind of put pressure on here while I'm tightening this with my AN wrench, just to make sure that it's not rejecting the hose and pushing it out, so the seal inside here stays nice and tight. All right, so don't mind the tape. The magnets are like falling out from the back. I had super glue them or something. Anyway, what you do is put these on there, slip this in there, make sure that it lines up with the grooves here. You can see it fits right in. And then, yeah, just take your AN wrench, put it to the right size, and just spin it down, and make sure you put that tape on there, or like I'm gonna do in a minute, and then tighten it down. Make sure you wash that, make sure it's not rejecting it, and then boom, you're good to go. Measure the rest out, cut it, do the same thing for the back fitting, and you're good to go for your return. All right, this is kind of what I meant. So I just took that tape, and right at the lip, I just ride it all the way 360 around. I don't know if you're gonna be able, yeah, that side too. And just take this, get it to the right thing, and just walk it in. It's gonna be easy now, but it does get a little tighter. Once it gets a little harder, that's when I kind of make sure that I'm pushing up on that too. So just do this until you get it all the way seated, and we're good to go. All right, and just like that, she's on there. Go ahead and put this back on the regulator and run it to the back, and then measure it and cut it as needed. Then mount it up to the subframe or whatever you're gonna mount them with, these little guys. Oh shoot, where'd they go? Oh, they're back there. Ugh. I got a bunch of these left, so I'll probably throw more on there just to secure it. But yeah, throw these on there, and I use these little guys here, just some metal screws, and boom, you're good to go. Yeah, and that's pretty much it right there. You know, I did it probably over a total work time of, you know, a couple days, but I've been in and out of here for a few hours every day that I did it. So it probably would have taken, I could have probably did this in a day or maybe even a weekend, but with me, I try to perfect as much as I can without being super sloppy, but some of it is kind of sloppy. But I mean, to me, I'm happy with it. So I just need to get the injectors. I do plan on running Bosch 210s. I do have some stockers right now that I could potentially just throw in. I mean, it is winter, so there's no point to put E85 in this thing like right away. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do about that, but do need the injectors. Just need a few more things, like spark plugs and wires, a few sensors. So now that this fuel system's done, minus the injectors, I'm gonna start wiring it up. Put the Holly in it. I got the Holly Terminator X. I'm gonna start wiring that up. yeah, and then I mean just piecing it together from here. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in again. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.